Hello, and thanks for coming to my track guide to Salzburgring. This is from the Cozy Racing Community. We race every Sunday. This is just getting to the end of the first lap at Salzburgring. And we can see Dima right here, Milvis, and then I'm just ahead of them. And this is the fastest lap I did of the weekend. And let's have a look into how I did it. So let's go inside the car here. So as we head along the pit straight, we want to brake just between the 200 and the 150. We're braking very hard and in a straight line until we want to start aiming a bit towards the little chicane here. As we get a bit closer, we're still hard on the brakes, and we want to be turning in around here somewhere, so we try to turn in and get off the brake so we can turn, hit that first curb, get back on the power, hit this second curb, and then try to get on as much power as possible. But this curb is really sketchy, and it can really unsettle you if you get over too much onto it. So let's have a look again. So we're braking very hard. We want to get off the brakes before we start turning completely, hit the curb, and then some power, and yes, now we can get onto full power as we head towards turn 3. So there's a couple ways you can take this. I like to brake in a straight line going all the way to hit this first apex, so I can get a bit of a double apex around this hairpin. Some drivers were heading out to the left here and carrying the speed through and getting another late apex over there. I prefer this way because I get to that middle point of the apex a bit quicker. But let's see how. So we brake very hard and get off the brakes a bit and carry on turning, and then because this straight coming up is so long, we want to get this corner is so important. We want to get on the power very early. So let's see that again. So we're braking in, we get off the brakes, and then some power, and then full power as early as we can. As we head out to the curb, we just missed the grass there, and then we want to get in as short a line as possible around this really long corner. So we hug the line there, over about left, hug it again. Here we're going to the right. Yeah, close to that line. Here we're going to the left, try to hit it closely here. And then here we have a pretty tricky corner, and you can actually lose a surprising amount of time here. So we want to brake just before this ridge in the road. So about here. So we brake very hard, and we're aiming towards this white line here, and we get off the brakes and get on the brakes as much as possible to just keep us there, and then we get on the power at such a point where we can have full power all the way around to the exit. If you get on the power too early, you're gonna go wide and onto the grass or into the sand, and if you get on the power too late, you're just losing speed. So let's see that at full speed. Brake hard, and then try to trail brake around the corner, and then on power. And that was a great time to get on the power. It allowed us to carry the speed all the way through to here. And then let's just step back a bit. Here we want to brake in a straight line. So we want to be, when we start braking just about here, we kind of want to be aimed a little bit to the right, so we can take a shorter line as possible around this long right-hander. So we want to get close to the inside of the road there. So let's see. So we try to aim the car, and then we start braking, and then try to keep the steering wheel as straight as possible, but then we need to start turning in. We shift down to second a little early, but we're really taking advantage of that engine braking, and then just a little bit more brakes needed to keep us close, and then get on the power to try and get as fast as possible. There was something really interesting there as well, but I'll point that out in a second. So as we get here, we want to get over to here, brake hard, and then shift down, use as much brakes as we need to, but then get back on the power while trying to stay over as far right as possible. So if I just go back here a second, you'll see that when we are getting on the power here, so we get on full power and then back off again, and the car changes direction, and then we're back onto full power straight away. If I show you at full speed, you can see the dynamics of the car and how it reacts to the throttle input and how I'm turning the car with the throttle. You see that it makes the car jump a little bit and turn a little bit more, and I can use that rotation to have get that turning done in the middle of the corner. So once we get on the power here, we're trying to get over to the right. It's really important here that we take a shallow entry into this. We want to get a very early, we want to hit the apex at the bollard, but the entry into that needs to be shallow because otherwise you're taking a much longer route around the corner. So we can see we've already started to try and aim there. And here we get half the car onto the curb and then back onto the power, so we can speed up and try to ride this curb around to the end of it, and then get a bit over to the right so we can get a nice angle for the last corner, and get on the power to all the way out to the right of the track, and then here we're just full power to the end. So let's see how that chicane works at full speed. So we get over to the right here, brake just before there, and then trail brake into the corner, back on the power but get off the power so we can stay close, shift up to third early, and then off the power again, and then power out to finish our lap of a 126.98. So let's have a look at that in real time. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for watching my guide to Salzburgring. I actually ended up not winning this as Milvis could overtake me later on in the race. The Supras were really good at this track. But yeah, it was a great race. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or if there's anything I missed out, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.